We got breaking news. Hang on. Do we have breaking news?
We have breaking news. I haven't anyone.
I love breaking news. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Hook One Pod. Hey, we're here at Hook One Bait and Tackle in the studio. As always, I'm Pete.
And I'm Louie.
And obviously, you're not blind. You can see we've got a guest here. We've got Pat with Mag's Custom Rods. I guess that wasn't – hang on, Pat. I guess that wasn't fair because if they're listening on the audio, they have no idea.
Yeah, they can't see.
Sorry to everybody listening on the audio. That was not chill. But anyway, we've got Pat here with Mag's Custom Rods. Pat's joined us before on just the audio version of our podcast. It's the first time we've got you on YouTube, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. How you guys doing?
Not too bad, man. You getting busy?
We're starting to get very busy. Just like that. Like last week, slow, and then all of a sudden, just boom, everything happens at once.
Yeah, well, perfect, because that's what we're going to jump into today. So, for those of you guys that don't know Pat or that didn't listen to the audio of the podcast before, Pat, why don't you tell them a little bit about who you are and what you guys are doing up there in the UP?
So my name is obviously Pat Magdaleno. Been in the UP for 32 years, and I've always loved to fish. And I built a fishing pole in 2017 just because I wanted like a nice fishing rod. Like no intentions on ever being a business or selling. And I guess it was a pretty cool pole, man, because everyone else wanted them, and it just kind of started from absolutely nothing. And now it's cool, man. We're growing every year. We got about a 10-man crew. We got a shop in the middle of Gwinn, Michigan, and it's literally been a dream and very awesome. I've really worked hard, and I've spent a lot of time dedicating to this, but I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Yeah, man. And we're gonna talk about something totally different than we did on the first podcast. But that first one was all about like the hard work and kind of the grind aspect of it, being younger in the industry and then getting up into it. Because everyone's always like, "Oh, it's so cool." To us, it's like, "Oh, you fish for a living," or "Oh, you get to work in a bait shop," or for you, like, "Oh, you build fishing poles for a living." Like, there is so much more to that than I think a lot of people realize. What's it been like kind of taking this thing off? Because we didn't talk about this in the first podcast, but what's it been like getting it off the ground from Gwinn, Michigan? Like, let people know how, like, you're in the middle of nowhere, my friend.
Yeah, the UP doesn't have much opportunity as it is, but if I didn't have out-of-state business, like, this would never be a thing. I mean, I might be able to do a little bit of stuff on the side, but it's tough to make it up here. There's just not much up here, not much opportunity. There's a lot of fishing, just not a lot of people in this town. And like when I first started, I pretty much just had to give them away, like just to kind of get it off the ground and get the trust in people and get my toes wet in the industry. And now, like 5-6 years later, like I have guys from almost every state in the country like telling me how good my product is, and it's literally like a dream. Definitely a blessing, and man, I wouldn't want to do anything else. It's amazing.
It's been cool to see it grow, man. I mean, we've all been through those growing pains. We're through it right now at the shop. You know what I mean? Just doing whatever you can to earn the respect that people are going to give you, and a lot of the times it means giving a lot of shit away and going to a lot of events that you don't necessarily want to be at, doing all that sort of stuff. But I mean, ask Louie, dude. You cut your teeth as a guide before you started building the rods. Now Louie, you know what I mean? Louie, he's just finishing up his first season. I mean, what's it been like for you, dude?
It's been nuts. It's been unbelievable.
It's a lot of work.
Ton of work.
Guiding's a grind.
Well, you said it at the
10 years.
You said it over at the Grand Rapids show, but you were like, anyone that guides for a living and can feed their family off of guiding, like, hats off, man. Because like we do it, I do it part time because obviously I've got the bait shop and stuff like that. Like Joe, and we have a lot of good guides over here. You know, a lot of good guides. You're really tied in. let's kind of talk about that a little bit. Where you started, because you said if you didn't have people from out of state, where were you most popular at, and do you see that coming over this way now?
Yeah, so we started. I hooked up with Larry Smith, which is out of Oshkosh, and he's a pretty big fishing show. So like that Green Bay area really kind of started for us, and did a little bit of business in the UP, and then Wisconsin was big, and then Minnesota for ice fishing, and then just recently, like since I met you guys, you've been telling me about this short rod jigging market, and I was like, yeah, right. And then when I went to that Novi show, it opened my eyes. Like it was like seeing the Green Bay market and then the Detroit's just hands down much bigger. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity out there that I'm not hitting. And like Detroit was probably bigger, that area, than Green Bay this year. And Green Bay is one of my top markets.
Well, dude, and that's the thing is the Detroit market in the retail business, we get to see it all the time, and we talk to a lot of our distributors because it's not just you. Like, when I came to you the first time, we were like, we need a rod under 6 foot. You're like, not going to happen. I understand, but just wait. You know what I mean? And we talked to other distributors like that, and we're like, hey man, because like we're here on the St. Clair River. You were up here this spring, and you got to see a little bit of what we got. And next year we're going to be down in Detroit. But like, dude, our area from Lake Huron to Lake Erie, the St. Clair River, Lake St. Clair, Detroit River, I mean, especially the Detroit River, they get millions, not hundreds of thousands. I mean, they get millions of people going there to catch walleyes. And it really is unbelievable. 5.5 foot to 6 foot, medium to medium heavy, fast to extra fast. It's such an uncommon rod. Like, kind of explain to our listeners that it's really not common to supply rods like that.
No, like before I started doing those short rods, like our 7.2s, 610 was like the shortest rod I made, and 7.2s, 7.6s, and those are all Green Bay guys where they're casting super far and they want to get their line away from the boat. And those jigging guys, they want their stuff straight down. They're not even casting; they're just vertical jigging. And with a long rod, you don't really need it,
Right.
Like some guys are even asking for like 5 foot even, and that's a little short. Like I make ice rods that long. But after you mentioned it to me a couple of years ago now, maybe 2 or 3.
Yep.
And then I still was in disbelief, but after doing that Novi show last January, that was my first time ever in that area. And it was just absolutely insane. Every booth had 5.5 footers, and they were selling. Everyone walking around had the short rods. And after coming down to fish with you guys, it makes sense. You don't need a 7 foot rod if you're jigging over the side of the boat. You can do that really with a 4 foot, but fishing that deep, you do want a little bit of length to get a good hook set.
Yep.
But just seeing how big that body of water and the fishery, the amount of people, the amount of money, like that market, in my eyes, is like untouched. So I feel like I could really do a lot in that area. We're even starting to get a lot more in Ohio too.
100%. It sounds like you're going to be at the Novi show. We're splitting a booth. We'll be there together. Oh, yeah. Sounds like you might have. Sounds like Pat might have some short rods at the show.
Yeah, it was secret.
See if there's some shorties that show up.
We're gonna actually start building those soon.
Let's go, dude.
Winter comes, we won't have time. So yeah, we're actually gonna start production on those next week or 2, and I'm gonna bring plenty.
They're gonna sell.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
We put them through the rigors this spring, and I let my customers. You were a captain. You're a captain. You know that we let our clients put it through the work. So we're really happy about that. Excited about it for sure. But
yeah.
Do you think because of like where fishing is going and like a lot of like with the new baits and stuff coming out, shiver minnows and Northland's got the pitch and puppet now, and do you think like the shorter rods are going to start selling possibly in some other areas with possibly fishing vertical becoming more of a thing? Or do you not think that's going to happen because a lot of that's shallower water, so you got to stay away from the fish?
I think like the Green Bay market with that water being so clear, not a lot of guys do vertical jig them.
Right.
Especially with like the live scope and stuff and really pressured fish, you kind of want to stay away. I think in your area, they're just going to get more popular.
Yep.
Because with the current, you want to stay over them, and otherwise, it's going to be really hard to fish them.
It's a pretty fun way to pound them, isn't it?
It is. I had a blast when I came down. And like Green Bay, those fish are very pressured too. And guys are going longer. Like we came out with a 7.9 this year, medium light, extra fast, finesse rod. And there's guys
just
that
to
are
get
like,
that bait out there.
But yeah, so especially in the summer when the fish get really pressured and finicky, like as far as you can get that bait out, the better. And then also with the longer rod, when you have that much line out, it's nice to pick up all that line for a hook set.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, in my eyes, stuff's going shorter in some areas and then longer in the other. But the fishing industry is just, it's just getting bigger, and there's just new stuff coming out every day. It's you got to keep up with it, otherwise you get left behind.
Dude, that our last podcast was just on that. Like there's so much information out there, and there's just like, dude, every company is coming out with so many different baits, but the same baits, and so many different rods. But like,
Yeah.
how do you guys stay ahead of it? So obviously with COVID and stuff, you guys went through some big cost raises. You went through some shipping logistics, and now I mean, you guys are a 10-person crew trying to keep up. Are you trying to even keep up with these other companies, or are you so focused on doing what you guys are doing? Like, talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I don't really worry about other companies. Like I said, I didn't get into this business. A lot of people go into business saying, I have to make as much money per unit as I possibly can. And I didn't think this was going to be a business. So I just wanted to make a nice, good quality fishing rod. And I think that's why my product is doing what it's doing. Because when you go into something thinking only about the dollars, it usually doesn't end well, unless you had unlimited money to throw away. But if you like put everything into making something really nice and good quality, the product speaks for itself.
Yep.
And that was my whole goal. Like, I'm not super worried about other companies coming out with stuff. I just want to make a good quality fishing pole that people want to buy, and I try to keep it affordable enough for like the average guy. You know, some of those walleye rods are $500-$600, and I'm not really looking at those guys. I'm looking for, that $150 to $200 market, which is still expensive, but an average guy that works and they want something nice, they can afford that. And that was my whole goal once I realized I could do something with this.
Dude, nowadays you spend $200 on like a dinner and a movie or some shit. You know what I mean? It's spend it on a good rod and catch some fish. It's nuts, man, because it's like we talked about that, and I know you're on the same page with us because you came up small town, small business type deal. Like, me and Louie feel bad at times when we got to put certain products out there on the shelf, and we're like, man, it used to cost a fraction of what it's costing now. And like a lot of people that don't do business that deal with like as much percentages and stuff, like it might not be as apparent, like, oh, it's only like 50 cents here, $1 here, but like, dude, it's going up like 8, 9, 10%. That's crushing to the small guys. Like, it's nuts it's just like, you talk about as much information stuff is out there, and then you pair it with all the other nonsense. It's kind of a lot to keep up.
Yeah, the price increases have been insane the last couple of years, especially when like gas got to the highest. My shipping rates doubled. All my materials have gone up minimum 10 to 20%. And it's just, my prices have been the same the last 4 years. Like, I really want to just like the prices, and I really want to keep them down. But man, it's tough with the price of, everything's gone up.
Well,
So
I mean, I'll
it
be
does
honest
make
with
it tough.
you're wrong in the sense like I bought my first mags rod for 220, and now you can buy them at Frank's. You can buy them here for 189. So your prices have gone down,
Yeah.
and it's like you're getting a quality. What I like about it is for the same reason that I like when people come to us and shop small businesses. We know it's going back into the business, but it's been really cool. Like I don't think me and Louie were talking about how small the fishing industry is. I think it's really cool watching your guys' growth because it's like it's cool seeing ours, and you guys have been booming, wouldn't you say? What do you guys got? 9 shows this year?
I think we got 8, but I'm debating on picking up one more. But man, I don't know. The shows are a lot. They take a lot of time, and I think just at shows I'll be gone 40 days this winter, and that's not including no fishing or nothing. So they take a lot, but they do well for us, and I get to meet the customers, and people want to meet who's making it,
Yeah.
and that has a lot to do with it. And I do enjoy like meeting the people, and then you get to meet like connections and stuff. But man, they get old after like day 3 or 4.
It's always business, dude.
Long days.
You go to those things, dude, and it's all, oh, I can't wait to go see so and so and chat together with so and so, and it's always business. Hey, let's do this, let's do that, and it's like, God. But at the same time, I love that. Like I love that part of this business. Yeah. So I get
lots of connections out there too.
Yeah, it's just to me, it's like a puzzle, and I like piecing it all together. I like kind of moving things around and doing that. It's definitely interesting, though. Tell you what, it's definitely interesting being on the backside of it. Going from you can explain that, or that as well as we both do, but going from just like your weekend fisherman, your average fisherman, to getting into the industry, and then the charter industry, and this industry is a whole different thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of guides now.
What's ice season look for you guys? What you said you're getting ready? You're gonna print. You're gonna print some rods. You're gonna produce some 510s, and then you said you're gonna run out of time. That's because ice fishing, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make it a point to make sure those get done. But like we've been building ice rods for 2 months already, so we're going in this year more prepared than we ever have. But I got to make sure I launch those 510s and do it right, bring enough, and then because right after that show, that's like right when the jigging, February, March, that's when we really started to up our sales for that short rod. So
these
gotta
guys
make that happen.
These guys are crazy, man. I'll tell. Like Louie you can vouch. These guys buying 12 months a year.
Oh yeah, I mean, guys come into the shop, and if it feels remotely nice, they're buying it.
And they're shopping all year. Like you got guys coming in. Louie and I were cutting back our hours like way back just because it's that time of the year now where guys are going to start getting in the woods and hunting and whatnot. So there's just not as many guys on the water. But like you get guys popping in January, February, filling their tackle boxes, getting jigs, getting rods, getting line on their reels. I love that shit. I love when guys are ready.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am with anything.
How many orders do you get where someone wants to put together a customer? They want to get a rod, and they're like, "Can I get it next week? Because we're going so and so, or we're going on a trip." And it's like, man, it's just tough.
That's why we started doing the pre-built line, because guys think a custom rod just gets made in a day, and that's not the case. And if we have orders and stuff, our lead time right now is only 10 days, 7 to 10. Yeah, but I would say in the next 3 to 4 weeks, it's going to go to 2 to 4 weeks. And, once November's here, we're slammed until May.
Yeah.
So the pre-built rods, we have them in stock. You order one, it ships the next day. You have it in 2 to 3 days.
It's not bad, man. It's not bad. What do you look so grumpy over here for?
I don't know, dude.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
We had a long day, dude. He's been tying stingers and painting jigs till he's going to have arthritis.
That's what he was doing last time I was there.
What's new, dude?
Still trying to catch up from when you were here.
Still painting. We got a show to get ready for, bro.
Yeah.
I did not mean to do that.
So, I'm gonna have to edit that part out because I forgot what I was gonna say. I just looked over, dude, and Louie's like,
Grumpy.
"All right, you ready?" So last time we talked, actually last time I was up there, you guys were getting an addition put on the shop. What? It's kind of crazy, dude. You started in like a room.
A little 8x10 room.
You started in an 8x10 room, and then you bought out the whole strip mall, and now you.
Yeah, our shop's about 5,000 square foot.
So
and my plan was to put an addition on it, and I was all approved and I was going to do it. I couldn't find anyone to do the work. I just started looking in like April, May, just searching and like hitting all the contractors up. Everyone's super busy. So we won't have it this year, but we're going to make it work.
Because
We just have to be more organized.
Yeah. That was going to be the cork room, correct?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still going to do it, but I got to have it done in the summer. Like, I can't do it in the fall or winter. We're just too busy.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, so you talked about like even how you're pre-built, they're built by hand. What goes into this process? Lay that out a little bit for the listeners and viewers,
So,
kind of, well, as much as you want to.
It's a good 4-day process. So like you start out with a blank and a handle. And if you want like a custom handle, you have to glue that one day. The next day you have to sand it down to the taper that you want. Then remount the inside to fit the blank. Then you glue the handle on the blank. You have to wait a day for that. So there's 2. The next day you tie the eyes on and then straighten them and put your first coat of epoxy on there. And then you have to wait till the next day to put the second coat. And you gotta the 4th day you put the second coat of epoxy. So it's 5 days from start to finish till it's cured. And if you've never seen it done, you wouldn't really understand like how much actually goes into it. Because people just think, oh, a fishing rod, it gets thrown together and you're fishing. It's like, oh, if you want something nice, it takes time.
Right. And how much room it takes up. Like with the lathes and
ice
all the
rods, not bad. I could put 10,000 ice rods in a room, but once you get to the open water stuff, it's
the 7'9"
takes
finesse
up a lot
rods.
of room. Yeah, like they're almost hitting the ceiling. I wish I had about a foot taller ceilings here.
Yeah, because you got the 7'10" Laker jigging rods too.
Yeah, we did a lot of those this year. Lots of them.
Looks like you got to put those things to work a couple weeks ago, yeah?
Yeah,
You
man.
dog,
One of my
dude.
buddies got a boat.
You
I got
dog.
to take it back out to the rock.
40
Smashed them.
43.5 inches.
Yeah, it was probably the biggest lake trout I've ever seen. Like when I netted it, I knew it was like, but then when I laid it on the floor of the boat, I was just like, holy.
You guided out
man,
there.
That thing's
You guided out
big.
there for how long?
Almost 10 years.
You caught your fair share of 40s
Just a few, man.
on your boat?
Maybe like, 2 to 3 that were for sure 40 pounds or bigger.
40 inches, though.
Oh, yeah, tons. I mean, 40 inches is
First 40, is that the biggest one you've caught? 43.5 then? Inches?
I've caught a couple in that 43, nothing over 43 and a half.
Dude, that thing
but some of them are a little skinnier. That thing was, and then some of them just have a belly.
Yep.
That thing was thick all the way through.
Did you weigh it?
No, we didn't. We just took the girth length, and I don't really trust that. But the girth was the biggest girth I've seen. The length was the biggest length I've seen. And I did the calculator thing too, and it was supposed to be like mid 40s, but I have weighed a couple high 30-pounders that died. And I mean, it was definitely bigger than that. So that's why I didn't say, oh, I got a 45-pounder, because I didn't know. I just know the length and girth.
Dude, that's got a good thing you had a tuna door.
That was sweet.
Did you go out the day before?
That boat's nice. Yeah, we went out the day before, and it was terrible. Like, we had a couple fish. Just, that's how that place is, man. It's if you get anything out of the east or wind, it sucks.
Yeah.
And then time of year thing, too. Summer sucks. Fall's good. Spring's good.
Yeah, it's weird. Louie went out. He was back out on Huron.
Got our ass kicked.
When was it?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and they marked maybe 12
Jigging
fish.
Lakers?
Yeah.
Trying.
They marked maybe 12 fish out there on our reef. So I don't know if they're coming in
Huron's got a
shallow or
lot
what.
of lake trout, too.
Yeah, Lake Huron's loaded. I don't know if they're coming in shallow or if maybe it was just one of those days, because we talked that day, the day before you caught your big one, and you're like, dude, it was trash. We're going to try and sneak out there again tomorrow. And I was like, trash? There's no way it was that bad. And
They're picky sometimes.
that's, yeah, what'd you catch it on? What bait?
My buddy on the boat caught it, and I was throwing 6 to 8 inch plastics, like big bondies and big baits, and I was catching good fish. And then one of my buddies that's never been out there didn't even know how to use a bait caster, dude. And he kept fishing high in the water column, and I told him, like, you gotta let it drop and then fish the whole column. And he was using a little 3-inch paddle tail. And next thing you know, I see his rod, and I knew it was a heavy bait caster, and that thing was just forked at the handle. So I run over there, back off the drag, because I keep them tight until you hook, so you can get a good hook in them.
Yeah.
And I look, I'm like, holy shit. Backed off the drag, and it just went and went. 20 minutes later, I seen it, and I was like, that's a good one. And once I netted it, it was really sweet fish. He didn't even understand what he caught, but I did. I was freaking out.
What your buddy that owned the boat, dude, he had to be stoked. That's what he came up there to do. Isn't that what that boat's for, is to run those trips?
Yeah, that's the only reason he bought it.
Dude, he had to be.
I took him on a charter 5 years ago, and then he comes up. He actually bought a house up here. He stays up here about 2 months out of the year.
By all accounts, he's an A+ dude. You've had
Super cool.
some cool trips, yeah. But that one, I mean,
Yeah,
seriously, thank God he had that tuna door.
it is nice.
Just bring him
That
in the
tuna
net.
makes everything better. Yeah,
Swam
and then
free.
you can revive them a lot better. Like those big lake trout, you need to take care of them. And if you have a boat that's 3 feet off, it's hard to let it go right. So that
Yeah.
tuna door, you're right on the water. It revive them really good.
I mean, that's pretty hard to beat there, dude.
It's cool seeing that big thing swim away, because you can see it 20 feet away, 20 feet down, and man, it's just freaking giant.
That water's a different color up there. Like when you're able to see those fish coming from down up, it's hard to explain. The fish almost looks like highlighted when they're coming up. Like they're just this bright, and like the colors on it were sick, because like especially this time of year, like their colors, they are all out.
They're changing like the leaves, man. Once the leaves are at peak, a lot of times that's when the fishing's at peak.
What's it been like up there? Is fall coming? Are you guys stuck in summer like we are down here?
Well, this weekend's supposed to be warm, but
yeah,
a lot of mornings it's been high 30s or 40s.
Fishing been
popping.
good up there?
Fishing's getting good everywhere. Steelhead, salmon. A couple more weeks, the splake will be going.
Dude, I want to get on those splake. I want to get on those fall splakes so bad when they're all colored up like that, bright orange.
I've gone every year for 10 years now, 11 years.
Yeah, it's something I really want to. I definitely am going to have to take advantage and get the boat up there one day and rip it, or just hide in your tackle box.
And this will be the first year I'm fishing them with electronics, so I feel bad if you're a splake this fall.
It's got Panoptics now, dude.
Panoptics, side scan. I did it all just by eye, just looking, or just casting, finding them, and then fishing them.
when you came up,
Dude,
so
electronics can make it easy.
for you guys listening and watching, when Pat came up or came down, because you're way up there, when Pat came down to walleye fish, he brought his boat. Chase put it together. The thing looked like a dinosaur when it pulled in. It's sick. It had the power poles and everything on it. It was ready to go. And then you look at the electronics. It's like, Pat, how many rods you sell a year, dude? We got to at least get down scan on this thing.
I know. I didn't even have.
Has it been pretty sweet being able to use it you were able to use it this summer, so congratulations is due as you're a new father.
Yes.
So we've got all this
business. Came about 2 weeks early, so I had big plans to fish that last couple weeks, but he came a little early.
Get used to it.
Yeah. So it's been good though.
Dude, he looks like he's healthy and he's ready to go.
He's ready to slay.
Has that been nuts on its own? You've got your own, like,
it's different.
You've had this journey with the tackle shop, and like the journey you've had has been an awesome one, or with the rod company, and now you're a dad and a growing rod company.
Yeah, stuff's gonna be really busy, but that's the way that I am. I need to be busy.
Yeah.
Like for me to sit at home and like watch TV, that's just not a thing. I'm either outside shooting my bow, fishing, in the garage, like doing something. I cannot sit still for long.
Right. We'll just get him out there on the show floor with Jim, and he'll be selling power noodles by the time he's 4.
That's the plan, honestly. My goal is to have him be able to build a rod. I think like 7, he should be able to do it.
Dude,
like 11
maybe
months.
even 6.
Yeah.
I've seen some 6-year-olds that are pretty skilled.
Dude, our 2-year-old nephew is like walking around talking full sentences, and I'll watch him fail and then immediately get back up, figure it out again, and I'm just like, he's 2.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, they'll be
able to figure it out. You got your dog there?
Yeah. Yeah, man, I brought him in today.
Hell yeah. I don't know where Finn is.
14 years old.
I think I locked Finn upstairs because, yeah, Finn's way more hyper than that. 14? He's a beast.
Yeah, he's deaf. He can barely see, but he still rips really good. So
he's tying somebody's rod here in the next hour.
Yep.
So what's next, dude? What do you see next besides for the show? Like, you've got the 510 coming out. Is there anything coming up that you're stoked for?
We got a couple new ice models. I'm excited for ice season just because that's our busiest time of the year. Summer's a little slow for us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to kind of pick up the slack of summer. And then winter's like just insane. I wish it was like consistent year round just so I could plan better. Then summers you just slow. Then once mid-October comes, it's just full bore till May.
Yeah.
So this year I haven't even released it to anyone yet. But we've been working with Eskimo for 2 years.
News!
And we pretty much just
we got breaking news. Hang on. Do we have breaking news?
We have breaking news. I haven't told anyone.
I love breaking news. All right, sorry.
But it's good to go. So we've worked with Eskimo for 2 years, and they've been selling our co-branded rod on their website. And this year, we're able to sell them on ours and sell them to certain retailers. So for us, that's a huge deal because every show last year we had 50, 60 people ask if they could buy one, and we had to tell them no. And so it's going to be really cool to do that.
Dude, congratulations from a business sense.
That's going to be badass.
Yeah.
Dude, that's good for you.
Yeah, and they've been so cool to work with. I was just on a hunting trip with the CEO a week or 2 ago. Just a good dude, and I like brushing shoulders with guys like that because they're smart. They know what's going on. So I like throwing ideas at them, getting feedback, and just kind of seeing what it takes to be that successful, you know?
Dude, yeah.
It takes a lot of dedication, focus. discipline.
It's a big company.
So
That's
the
why
summers messed me up because we get slow, so I kind of lose track of things. And now we're starting to get busy. My tunnel vision's coming back, but I need that tunnel vision 12 months a year if I want to really make it.
I know when it gets slow, that's what Louie and I were talking about. Like August, end of July and August were really slow. Like there just wasn't anyone fishing, dude. There's 5 cars at our 3 local launches, and it's like it gets slow and it gets a little easy to kind of do some other things and get caught up with life. But you gotta, when you lock it back in, that's kind of where we're at now. We're pretty zoned in. We got to finish our shit.
Yeah, I'm so ready, man. That's when I perform the best, is when I'm just overwhelmed. And that's when I can just really get stuff done.
Because you have to do it, right?
Yeah. Because if not, you kind of just, I'll do it later.
That's how the shop's
I did get to fish a ton this summer, though.
Yeah, no doubt. What were you going to say?
So that was nice.
The shop's been overwhelmed for the past month, I'd say.
It's just been, and it's weird because it's kind of like you get it in the sense like preparing for rods, like it's our slow time for selling, so we don't see a ton of customers, and you're busier than you ever have, getting everything ready to go. The problem is with you guys,
our skills aren't high right now,
right?
But we're crazy busy just getting prepared for what's to come. Like November, it's game over till May. Like I live here.
Yeah.
I mean, last year I was here every day, 7 days a week. If I wasn't at shows, 6 a.m., 10 p.m. every day.
Yep.
No matter what.
And when you're at the shows, like for us, it's nice because we can close down the shop for a week and load everything into the truck, take it down there, and make sure it looks all good. You guys leave the night before the show or whatever it is, and you get there, you guys set up, because that's, like you said, that's your busy season. So you're kind of juggling all that. It gets a little wild.
It's wild in here in the winter. Like I tell people to stop here and end of November or middle of December, nothing but just rods, shipping, people everywhere. The lights are on from, I think last year one of my employees was coming in at 5. I mean, the lights are on from 5 a.m. to, I had a night shift guy last year, so like 5 a.m. till midnight. Lights are on like 7 days a week. My power bill was way high.
Dude. Did you ever think that was going to happen, man?
Like, man, I see that. Never.
You wouldn't have it any other way.
And yeah, I'd see guys like, because our shop's right on the main drag, and I see guys, man, those lights are always on 24/7. I'm like, pretty much in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
That's what I try and talk to Louie about that, and even the guys at the shop. Louie gets it, and it's like you try to tell those younger guys that, but like, dude, if you wanna have great results, then you gotta have great work ethic, because it ain't just gonna happen.
Yeah.
And like you can get paid 9 to 5, but you're gonna make your money from 7 to 9 and from 5 to 10. You know what I mean? So it's like,
there's not much work ethic anymore.
But that's why I've got to be doing this.
You can make it.
Right. But that's why you've got to be doing that, and I've got to be doing this, because I'm not putting in that extra work doing anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
I did do the fishing for a living every day, and there's literally nothing. I've been offered good money for my business and didn't even think about it. I'm like, I'm good, because even if somebody gave me $10 million, I wouldn't even take it, because, like, yeah, the money's cool. I would just travel and fish, but that gets old. I did it for 10 years, and I love what I do more than anything. There's just nothing I would rather do. But I have fallen in love with hunting the last 2 years, so I might have to figure out something to do with that,
yeah, I'll tell you what to do with it. Sell your gun, sell your bow, and you'll fall right back out of love. That's what I did.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I did. I'm like
so addicted to it right now.
Is your guys' opening day Sunday?
Sunday. I'm not even going to go out. It's going to be hot. Bad winds for me. And I'm going to try to get some work done, because I'm going on a 10-day hunt at the end of October.
Yeah, then you're really going to be balls to the wall when you get back.
Yeah, I got a good crew, so I can do that right now. But we're still going to be behind.
Yeah.
So I just got to sell enough fishing poles to go hunting. That's my goal now.
You got to enjoy yourself, man. You got to, as much as you like to grind, as much as you want to grind and you love to grind, you got to enjoy yourself and do your thing. But that's, Louie is just telling me, like, hey, you know, Sunday's hunting season, and the week after that starts waterfowl season, and that's usually what I hear when it's like, all right, let me know if you want to fish.
Yeah,
I haven't even thought about fishing.
Boat's pretty much away for
my
the winter.
God, dude.
Till like November, I'd just say.
I'm going to get lost in the hunting world.
I am already, and it's not even season yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I used to love fall fishing.
I do because it's empty out there. It's always empty up there, though.
My favorite time to fish was opening day of deer season. Nobody on the rivers.
November 15th.
I don't think I'll ever hit opening day again. Yeah. On the river, I'll be in the stand.
Yeah?
I'm strictly bow hunting, though. Like, I'll hunt with a rifle a little bit late season, but anything that I do, I want to do it with a bow.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been putting a bunch of time into some property up there, yeah?
Yeah, man. I got some property here, and then I've been hunting some other spots in Wisconsin, Minnesota. But I just like shooting. It's not just the hunting. Got a bow last year, and I've been shooting at least 200 arrows a day. I fell in love with like perfecting it. Anything that I do, I like to try to be as good as I can, and I'm just like obsessed with it right now. Just shooting by myself at home.
Shooting a bow is therapeutic, dude. That's actually the whole reason I
Yes.
bought a bow. I was like, I guess I'll hunt, but I bought a bow just to go out back, dude, and just. I think it's because you like you're so focused on the target. And like at that point, you're not focused on anything. It's almost like when you're working out, because like you're not focused on anything else. You're not focused on work. You're not focused on family. You're not focused on your personal life. It's you and that target.
Yep. Yeah, I'm literally gonna get off today. I'm gonna go shoot my bow for 2 hours. I just made a target, a homemade one, and it's sick.
Yeah, is it at the house?
Targets are freaking expensive, dude.
It's nuts.
I made a big 3x3, so I've been shooting like 80 yards. I'll never shoot an animal that far, but it's just shooting that 60, 80. It makes those 20 to 30-yard shots easy,
100%. That's something, people talk about fishing getting expensive and how fishing's getting overpriced. Louie's telling me about hunting lately, dude. What it costs for decoys, what it costs for a layout blind, what it costs for a case of shells. Like, no, I can't do it.
It's ridiculous this year. Like, I just bought new arrows. Not even a dozen. I bought half a dozen new arrows last week. $120.
Yeah. And you could lose those very easily.
Yeah, you get one, maybe 2 deer if you're lucky out of each of them.
Hey, Pat, you think if you close that arrow in a car door, they'd give him a new one?
Probably not. No, not a thing.
I hate to put you, dude. I hate to put you on the spot like that, but me and Louie say that all the time. Like, I'm just like, man. But I guess you got any other questions for Pat? I mean, I think we knocked it out of the park. I'm glad to have you on the video version of this. Are you starting to get into this podcasting thing?
Yeah, dude. Anytime you want to do it. I was thinking about doing one. Maybe someday when I just get a little bit more set up over here where I can take the time and do it.
You let me know when you're ready. I'll help you set it up, dude. We'll have the Mags Custom Rods podcast or whatever. See, the thing is you've got a lot of good connections. You could talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, I brush shoulders with a lot of good people. And even like through my fighting days, I met a lot of people. And
I didn't even think about that.
Doing my thing. Oh, I know a lot of people through fighting. I think that's a big reason too why I did so well from the get. I just knew a lot of people, and a lot of those like professional fighters love fishing.
Yeah.
So
Well, you knew a lot of people, but you also treated them right. I think that me and Louie say that's the biggest part of a business because you can go get bait and tackle anywhere, just like you can go get a rod anywhere. So you got to treat them right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a dick, you ain't gonna really get too far in this industry because the next guy right down the road's doing the same thing.
There's a lot of shitters in this industry. You just got to treat people right.
Can't be a shitter. Yep.
But
gotta be good to people, make a good product, work hard, and you'll be good. It's really all you need.
Yeah, man, that's great advice. I appreciate that. Appreciate the people out there got that.
Yeah.
Before we sign off, real quick, can you give people, at least to the best of your knowledge, a rundown of where you're going to be at this winter for your shows?
Yes. I will be South Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, November 10th through the 12th. And then I am heading to St. Paul, December 1st through the 3rd. And then I'll be in Oshkosh, the 9th through the 12th of December.
This is good.
And then I have a little bit of a break. And then I go to Novi. What is that, January 9th?
11th.
11th?
Yeah, we can start setting up the 9th.
Week. Yeah. And then I'm back for a week, and then I go to Chicago like January 19th or something.
Jeez.
And then I'm back for 2 weeks. And then where do I go? I go to Madison, maybe. Madison.
That sounds right. I think that's...
And then Grand Rapids in March.
Oh, yeah. This is pretty good, dude, for being put on the spot.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man. I've been like trying to get it all. Now that I have a kid, I have to like get my schedule set up. So I've been talking about this for a couple weeks, but I know 8 shows. Our Fargo show got canceled this year.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. And I'm not that mad about it because it's a 14-hour drive. And yeah, my schedule's right here. Chicago's 25th through the 28th. Yeah. Sioux Falls, St. Paul, Oshkosh, Detroit, Chicago, Madison, Grand Rapids. And there's one more. I don't know where, but there's one more.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude. Shoot me over a picture of the schedule after this, and I'll put it right here in the video, and then they'll just be able to see it.
Okay.
But
sounds good.
So they can find you on Instagram at Mags Custom Rods. They can find you on Facebook, Mags Custom Rods. Is that about it for socials?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, that's enough. And then my website's magscustomrods.com. Call us at the shop if you have any questions. We're here every day. So
that's it, man. Hey, I can't thank you enough for, like I said, getting on and giving some people some of the backside information as well as just kind of BSing and talking around with us. We'll let Louie do his thing here. Just stay on after the call and we'll finish up. Go ahead.
Okay,
Louie.
Thanks for having me.
Just like, share, and subscribe.
That's it, y'all. All you got to do is like, share, and subscribe. Again, if you want to see where Pat is, you can find him on Instagram and Facebook at Mags Custom Rods or www.magscustomrods.com. If you guys want to see any other guests jump on the show, or you guys want to hear any topics, or you guys know the deal.
Shoot us a DM.
Shoot us a DM. Find us in the DMs. Hit us up on the email, whatever you guys want to do. Other than that, guys, we can't thank you enough for the support. We'll see you next week. Tight lines.